So you see the name I give to this video, Grasping at Straws. Yes. I did that deliberately because that's exactly what this topic's about, grasping at straws. You know, when you tell the truth and you show people the truth, the people that are honest, the people that see what's going on, recognize it, okay? The people that are dishonest, are deceivers, are liars, are parasites, whatever name you want to use for them, okay? Our corruption that we have going on, evil, which has been going on for a long time. You know, there's some attacks that's been happening that's happened to me since the day I came online. That's right. And it's funny because even to this day, we have people that make these same attacks. And I call it pretty funny, okay? Because they will attack me for my grammar or my spelling. And they will act like that 6 or 7-year-old child. An attack person because of their spelling. Why? Because they're grasping at straws. Because they can't launch any kind of debate or attack on me other than to grasp at straws. You know, like recently I've showed you CNN, been going their own way. A man flinging propaganda, turd flinging monkey. I showed you the red flag laws. I've showed you how the military-industrial complex, the military-industrial media complex, CIA, Google, how all these entities are in bed together. And what they're doing, making a running history to use to create mental health laws, which isn't even a law. It's a man-made thing to lock down, to enslave, to take rights from other people. That's what it's really about. Okay? And these people, they know this. They know what I'm showing them. They know that's factual. But see, they can't make an intelligent counter comeback to this because they know it's correct. They can make statements and claims that I've not done any of my homework, or I don't know what I'm talking about, or anything they want. But they can't make an intelligent comeback because they're unable to make an intelligent comeback because they already know what I'm saying is the truth. And when you hit on something they know you're correct about, it pisses them off. They sit and try to think of something they can come back with. Now, the smart ones, the smart people that would be working for, even though they're still really stupid. I hate to label them smart and stupid both, but they are. They literally are. Because they're stupid in the fact that they're willing to work for the military media complex, industrial complex, the CIA. They're willing to work for these entities for the tool, money. They're willing to destroy their own society through their own ignorance because they don't have no critical thinking skills, because they've been mind controlled, brainwashed. They don't possess a critical thinking skill. So they go along for the tool, and they help to destroy their own society. They help to destroy other human beings' lives for their own selfish gain. So this is where they're stupid. You want to know where they're smart at now? See, some of these people that are military, media, industrial complex that are up here on Google Tube, which is in bed with all of these entities, who are working for the tool to make a running history against the Manosphere, okay, who are plainly agents, who are hiding their real true identities, will always hide who they are because they already know they're clearly evil, they already know they're clearly in the wrong. They don't want you to know who they are so that they could never be held accountable for being someone who helped to destroy millions of lives for their own selfishness. Okay? But they don't want you to know that's the real reason they hide who they are. But the smart ones, if I say something or I show you something they know is true, they just stay silent. They ignore. That's the smart ones. That would be like, that's right, a man, a monk, okay, flinging propaganda. Even though he's stupid on the aspect that he's helping to destroy, helping to replay history, helping to create a situation where millions and millions of people will die at the hands of greed from other human beings, and gladly going along with that and helping to bring down his very own country, who is a treasonous traitor, and hiding who he is while he does it for the tool. He's smart enough to ignore. Then there's other ones that, well, they're most likely military, media, industrial complex. That's correct. They know they are. They're a lot like him too. See, they hide themselves. Yes, they do. But they're solely here attacking the manosphere, just like the other person is, but they're not quite as intelligent as the other person. They're a little bit more stupider, a little bit more dumber. And they think that they could pick out that I don't spell properly. Okay? And they can just pull shit out their anal. And they can point out flaws that they can clearly see that I have, that this somehow makes them intelligent. That somehow makes them smart. Somehow makes their lying ass credible. Even when they've already showed the whole world they're a liar, a deceiver. They can't be trusted. They will grasp at straws because they can't make an intelligent comeback. For what I've shown recently, rather than make an intelligent comeback, which they're unable to do, because they know they can't debate the truth without showing you who they really are, so they're grasping for straws. They're acting like a 7-year-old, a 6-year-old, a 5-year-old child. That's what they're doing. And while they're acting like this 5, 6, 7-year-old child and grasping for straws because they can't make that intelligent comeback. But let's think about something else. We want to use my spelling against me to try to make yourself look intelligent. Okay? There's many famous people that were inventors of things that you use every day right now today in a society, in our world, that they built, created on their very own. They couldn't spell or write for shit neither. But you gladly take their product and use it every day, don't you? You sure do. How many of you think that these so-called intelligent people that are acting like the 5-year-old or the 6-year-old or 7-year-old have trade skills like I have. Oh, they just they'll tell you that I don't have these trade skills. This is the next BS that'll come out their mouth. But you got to remember, they never talked to me once personally in their life. They don't know the first thing about me. They've never met me in their life. They haven't walked in my shoes in my life or been with me to know what I know. They're just reaching all the way up their anal and pulling that big old turd flinging monkey, turd out and eating it. That's right, that's what they do. And then they regurgitate and spit that turd back out their mouth at you, the people, because they're intelligent. Because they call themselves intelligent. When there's nothing intelligent about what they're doing whatsoever. First off, when you don't know somebody, you've never talked to them in your life, you don't know the first thing about them, you haven't walked in their shoes, you haven't been with them to know what they have done and haven't done. You think because they can't spell good, they can't read, and you're totally correct, totally off base on that. But you assume that, you made that assumption, and you have your foot hanging out of your mouth off of your assumption, and it stands out. Okay? And this is what has gone on since I've been doing this. There's always the little 5-year-old or 7-year-old, between 5 and 7-year-old mentality that shows up slinging these turds from their mouth. And this is what still goes on even today. It hasn't changed as long as I've been here. It still goes on. I think it's sort of funny because it shows their intelligence level. At least I can say for turd flinging monkey, this should be best known as monk, a man, slinging propaganda, lies, deceit onto the public. At least this man is smart enough to keep his mouth shut. But there's another man who's not quite that intelligent. He thinks he's doing something for himself here. He is. He's showing his true colors. He's showing how stupid he is, how dumb he is, how he's willing to destroy his own nation, how he's willing to be responsible for millions and millions and millions of deaths, and don't care about whoever dies as long as he gets his tool. And he's so stupid that he don't realize that when these criminals that he's bending over for, the best way I can show you these people is just picture this. These people are the ones with their you-know-what in the air and their head in the sand. That's how you recognize these people. They've always got their you-know-what flinging in the air and their head stuck in the sand like an ostrich. And that's what this person is. He's standing there with his head stuck in the sand and his you-know-what in the air, waiting for his bosses to get through using him so that they can get him from behind, which they will. Because throughout history, the people who thought they were safe by complying and going along with that we're going to be somehow safe at the end, were the very first ones exterminated and killed after they killed millions of other people. And it was all done with their genocide now. They had the last little things to clean up. That's right, they're witnesses. The people who could tell on them. So now we shut their mouth. And all these people are standing there with their head in the sand and they're, you know what, in the air, are going to get it from behind. As history replays itself. And then all that monetary stuff that you thought you had to have for the reason you sold out everybody, you won't have no more. Because everybody you sold out that's dead, you're with them. Dead. You died of ignorance. You died of dumbness. Because it could never happen to you. That's exactly why it happened to you. That would be the real truth right there. And do you think any of these people are ever going to come up and debate me? Use an intelligent level video or anything to show their real face and have a real honest debate about what I've been showing you? No, they can't. Because they know what I'm saying is the truth. They know they would have to come up and start trying to lie and deceive and cover themselves up and cover themselves up. And they couldn't do that if they had to come clean and address the issue. The issues I've been talking about, like who turd-flinging monkey really is, what turd-flinging monkey really means, how it makes a mockery of men, how it's being used, this being used to create a running history so that they can use their fraudulent running history of BS. Things that never took place, like Elliot Rodgers. Things that were completely fraudulent. The incel run me over in Canada. Things that were lies, that were completely fraudulent, that never took place. The putting us in categories, to put TFL and incel in one category, and changing what TFL was originally about to their own want, which don't fly, because it was never about that from day one. Because you twist and manipulate and say it is, doesn't make you correct. Just makes you what you are. A liar, a deceiver, a nut job, a psychopath, waiting to be bent over yourself. And of course you think that ain't going to happen to you because you've convinced yourself of your lies. And this is what we see also going on, that's been going on. People convincing themselves of their own lies rather than being honest with themselves. People anticipating in actions, order followers and actions that are bringing down their own country. People anticipating this are just as guilty as people who would throw people in camps and kill millions of people. You're the reason it's happening. You're just as guilty. You need held accountable for your actions. And you need to be prosecuted for your actions by the people. By the real people. The good people. Who care about what's right and wrong. Who cares about overturning real evil. Not by fraudulent people who come up and pretend to be a truther. That's right. Not by people that have power, greed, or ego. because they're already corrupt. They're already totally corrupt, and these people can't be trusted or believed by anybody that's legit. Anybody that's legit, that's real. But we are surrounded with a world of fakes, as I've already told you. So we don't have too many real people left. Chances of stopping history from replaying itself are almost next to none. Because nobody's smart enough to realize that's what's going on. And even fraudulent truthers that the intentions was right when they first started, but they had the virus that inflated them and destroyed them and made them corrupt. These people may be certain persons really good with history. Is so good with history that they have outsmarted themselves. Because it'll be the history they're so good with that's replaying itself right in their face that'll be their own demise because they got the virus. They was unable to stop and fight the whole war, all the corruption straight across the board. The one thing I always give Mark Passio is he fights the entire world, all forms of corruption straight across the board. And there ain't nobody that can take that from him. He's already proven that he does. And it doesn't matter what you say about him. Doesn't matter if you call him a shield. Doesn't matter. You can call him anything you want. Like you can call me anything you want. You can say anything you want about me. I don't care. Because you don't know me. You haven't walked in my shoes no more than you know Mark Passio or walked in his shoes. You don't know me. You want to pick out some thought that I have when you're loaded with thoughts yourself. First thought you have is I'll always be more of a man and more honest than you'll ever be in your little pinky. Your entire body don't even compare to my little pinky. Because, see, I don't have to hide who I am. Oh, you know who I am? You see my face right here. That's right. You all know who I am. You have for years. I've never hidden myself from you. But people like this, they have to hide themselves. Why? Because they know they're fraudulent, they're fake. They know they're your deceiver. People like myself or Steve Hoka who are real. Sad thing is you got some people up here that are not afraid to show their face and give their real name. That came aboard with good intentions. That ain't real. Because they allowed corruption to control them. Because that's what they were here for, was that little bit of fame, that little bit of attention, that little bit of... They were here for all the wrong reasons. It's a lot like in the dating scene. You know, that's why things don't work out for most people, because they're there for all the wrong reasons. And it's no different here. And you get angry because I speak about the dating scene. You get angry because somebody might speak against a female. But you're a big hypocrite because you'll speak against a female. I've watched almost every truther online speak against a female. If the name was Nancy Pelosi, Hillary Clinton, you're right there speaking up, yep. But if it's any other female, Cover up the corruption. Cover it up at all costs. Play into the double standard. Zip your mouth. Don't talk about that. It's sort of like ego. Zip your mouth. Don't talk about that. Don't show the people the real truth about ego. That way I can stay the parasite and it can corrupt me. That way I can become corrupt because I'm just like the powers to be. I'm loaded with selfishness. I'm as real as 153news.net. Though I spoke out against 153news.net, this is your truthers. I exposed them as being fake truthers, as fraudulent liars and deceivers, while you do the very thing they're doing yourself. Because you got ego. Yep. And at all costs, protect your ego. Even if you're saying you're a truther. I think that's pretty hilarious. You know. See, so what you have here is you got people pretending to be truthers online. You got military-industrial media complex pretending to be truthers. CIA pretending to be truthers. You've got people like Jason Boss pretending to be a truther. Who's fraudulent as gets. They're fake truthers. And they're wounded by truth. They get hurt by truth. While they call themselves a truther. And the only way a truther can be hurt by truth is when they're not a truther, they're a fake truther. Because only fake, fraudulent truthers get hurt by truth. The only people that can be wounded by truth are liars, deceivers, and fakes. That sort of goes back into yesterday's live stream, doesn't it? Yes, it does. But I want to call this one grasping for straws because that's what I've noticed going on. From a certain person. I won't give his name out because I don't want him to think he's in a popularity thing. I don't want him to let his phony ego inflate a little bit more. I want him to understand that yes, he has the mentality of a 5 or 7-year-old. He's no smarter than that. And that his counterpartner over there, turd-flinging liar over there, you know, monk, man, flinging propaganda, is just a little bit more intelligent than even him. Because he's smart enough to keep his mouth shut. Which this person's unable to do. I would challenge you to an open debate. No to monk, man, flinging propaganda. I'm not going to come onto your show because you control the narrative. You could always kick me off and edit out anything I've said and then just say whatever you want to say. See, unlike me, I'm real and you're not. If you came where I'm at, it'll never be edited. Never. It'll go up just as it was. It'll never be touched. It won't be edited. But if I go where you're at, you know already, and I know already, that deception would happen because you can control the narrative when you're already not trustable. So you need somebody that's going to be real and honest to control that narrative because this way nothing changes. Whatever's said stays for the public to see. Nothing gets edited out. That's right. Not one little iota gets edited. Okay, and this is the reason the other party won't come back with anything intelligent neither. This is the reason you'll see all these different names as they think they're attacking me. And you'll see them stoop as they're grasping for straws. and use something that's so childish while they're grasping for straws because they got no anything they can use to intelligently debate you, to come at you with. Because they know what you're saying is correct and true. But because they know they're in bed with these evil people to begin with, they can't never let you know that. Matter of fact, this person probably don't even have a wife that he told you he has. Matter of fact, his entire story is probably a sham that he told people before he dropped his videos down and put his videos and started making new videos. Anything he said even before then cannot be trusted. Because once you put yourself in that category of a deceiver, a liar, then anything that you've ever said now comes to question and cannot be believed or trusted. So, you know, I could act just like him, though. I'll tell you how. I'm going to give you an example. I'm going to be just like him. Okay? I know that this guy's never done none of his homework. Okay? And I know the only skill he has is to be able to spell correctly. That's right. And that he's a TFLer. And that he's never had a woman in his life. Okay? I know this about him already. Okay? And I know he's most likely gay. But he don't want you to know who his boyfriend is. Or who he is. Because he's not as strong as I am. He's a lot weaker than me. He's not able to show his face. Or say his real name. So I know all this stuff about him. You know why? Because we know each other personally because I've walked in his shoes. He just didn't know I was there. He didn't know that I knew that he was single and has been single his whole life. And when he told you he had a child, he went somewhere where there was children playing and turned on his cam so you'd hear a child in the background. Then he was just claimed that was his child. Okay, now I'm through acting like him. The truth is, I know none of that. The truth is, everything I just said when I acted like him, I have no way of backing up or even making a claim to. Every last bit of it. I couldn't back up, I couldn't make a claim to it because I made it up. That's what he does. See, so I was acting just like him. But I'm not going to be obsessed with him and make video after 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 video about him. Like he would me. I'm sorry. I'm not your type. You're just not my type. I'm sorry. I understand that you're in lust with me. And that you would like to be able to go there with me. But I don't want to swing that direction. So you might want to move on, okay? I've already got another person up here that followed me everywhere I went. For 6 years straight. 6, 7 years straight before they finally stopped. And they still show up now and again. And they were totally in lust with me just like you are. Okay? And I had to give them the same bad news that I'm giving you. Okay, now I'm through being sarcastic and all that good stuff. The Grasping for Straws was a good name because that's what he's doing. He has no actual counter-intelligent debate that he could make against what I've shown you recently. So he ignores it and tries to think that he's making me look less and makes up things that he pulls out his anal. Meanwhile, making the other military industrial media complex agent, like him himself is, look a whole lot smarter than him. At least the guy had enough common sense to know, ignore. Like I've been doing to you. I haven't listened to one video you've made. I have no need to. Okay? I didn't have to come over and sub to you and make sure I was still sub to you as you done me. So, but understand who he really is. He's military industrial media complex. He's on a mission, and that's the reason he came up here and mimicked my channel. Because it was all an agenda, a plan. He was following his orders for the tool. And they are working on creating a running history to paint TFL, Incel, men going their own way, the manosphere, out as a bunch of nuts. So they can furtherly enslave you and take more rights away from you. And when you lose your rights because you didn't stand up for yourself, it's because of cowards like this. Because this guy is truly, he is a true, real coward. He is what a coward looks like. You can't tell what he looks like because he's hiding, shivering, shaking, scared shitless to show who he really is. Because he knows already. Why do you think there's never been one intelligent comeback to anything I've said? And he's just saying all the rhetoric he's saying. Because he can't make an intelligent comeback. Because he already knows I'm correct. With that being said, I just wanted to say that's what he's doing. He's grasping for straws. Grasping for straws. And he's using some of the oldest insults that I've dealt with since I've been online. And I find it funny that he would use them insults and stoop down to the level of a 5 or 7-year-old. I find that funny because he's so desperate. Because he's so obsessed. It's actually sad. But, you know, he don't care because he's making the tool, right? Because this is how you make your tool, isn't it? The money. By coming up online and deceiving people, right? Yeah. And you don't have to monetize your channel to make money. Because you're collecting government money for helping them with an agenda of evil. As you destroy millions and millions of people's lives for your own selfishness. But I'm going to get on out of here. So to all of you people out here that want to throw these type of insults that can't make an intelligent video back at me, it has something to do with grasping for straws, doesn't it? That's right. Grasping for straws. Because you can't defeat what I'm saying. Because you know I'm correct. Isn't that right?